of Jesus. Lord God, we thank you for this space and time that you've given us. We pray, God, that you will bless and keep us, Lord, in this heat. Lord, I pray right now, Lord, if you would turn that heat down just a little bit. We thank you today. We thank you for grace. Lord God, we thank you for mercy. We pray in the name of Jesus Christ.
Good evening, everybody. Thank
Good
you all
evening.
for coming. We have officially been called to order, and protocol is being established as we speak. We've opened up with a prayer. Our agenda will be we're dispensed from the minutes. Our administrator wasn't able to get to the minutes. We'll have our resource officer, code enforcement, financial report, old business, new business announcements, and then adjournment. First of all, I want to thank everybody who came out to help at the community fish fry and splash party. We had a wonderful time. The community came out in droves. The kids had a great time. They came back and ate hot dogs and hamburgers and grilled chicken, fried fish, red rice, seafood rice, corn, cob, chili. The food we did have leftover, we took to Bell's Residential Care, and they were very appreciative for it. So we thank everybody who came out and supported us. We also gave a report back to the Aquatic Center because they allow all of our residents to come in free. So that was a blessing, and they said, great, we'll see you again next year. Mm-hmm. So as long as they don't mind helping us, and which is a blessing. Okay. So resource officer is here, and he's going to give a report.
So we had a stolen vehicle on Frank Millette Lane. A stolen recovered vehicle on Montague and Luella. And then on Nesbitt, we had a B&E Auto and a stolen vehicle on Nesbitt. They're both the same address. So the it was a Dodge Charger that was stolen and recovered. And then they took $20 out of the car, or a car that wasn't secured. So, but that's it on the crimes for the neighborhood.
So when you say recover, that means it
Like,
back to the owner?
Yeah, like it could have been stolen at the beginning of the day and we recovered it.
And we give it back to the owner?
Yeah, the ownership have the car back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, whenever it comes to that.
Okay.
What was the address on this?
4879. Both of those were the B&E Auto and the car.
And then you didn't, and, okay, and you just found it on Frank Millette, there was no address?
Yeah, it doesn't say.
Just,
sometimes it'll tell you, like, sometimes they'll put it in the little there. It'll actually tell you. But that's where it was recovered at. Right there, that address.
Okay.
So sometimes they'll tell you, like it was, they'll find a car, for example, and like on Montague, and they'll put recovered from Somerville. That means it was taken from Somerville and recovered in there.
Okay.
So, other than that, I don't have anything new.
Do you know about the cameras that we want to get on the radio?
Yeah, so I know they're still working on that system.
Okay.
I think it has something to do with the city and Dominion or something like that with poles. But I know that they are working on getting them all on.
Okay.
So they're definitely working on that.
Okay. So,
All over the city.
thanks.
So, yeah. Anything else?
Any other questions?
Be careful.
Thank you.
Y'all stay hydrated.
Oh, you too, because you're gonna be out and about.
Have a good one.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Code enforcement?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Not much. Just a little housekeeping, I guess, and observation is we're trying to curb the black bags, just loose black bags on the ground, waiting for sanitation because they don't pick them up. they get refused and turned down are turned away when they take them to the dump. So if they're, especially if they're garbage and household garbage. So they're really wanting us to get away from those, because we're kind of stuck. We're even having to wait until the next week so they can actually put them in the cans versus, the bulk, because the bulk trash, what it is bulk trash won't pick it up.
Mhm.
And then, of course, the garbage trucks, they're not required to pick up anything off the ground.
Mhm.
So it just kind of sits there and creates a hazard and nuisance.
That's the overflow trash.
It could be, yeah,
Okay.
overflowing, just,
Hmm.
I've seen a lot of them just being dumped, really, I guess, on empty lots too.
Mhm.
Oh,
A lot of the black bags.
Can I ask you a question?
Mhm.
They won't take the bag that's black or just loose?
It's a kind of, I guess, up to the driver kind of thing. But if they're not wanting to get it because they can't see what's in it, and if it's household garbage, then they can get turned away when they go to the dump. If it's the bulk trash, picking it up.
I see.
Now, if the garbage truck, I guess, can get it and put it on their truck, but they usually aren't gonna pick it up off the ground.
Oh, they only pick the trash.
They can
Can.
and dump the can.
I got you.
so you saying that the bags would be care bags though?
Well, that's what I asked too, because I was like, well, if it's clear, then what? But they're really still aren't gonna pick
So
it up.
any bags that's outside?
Yeah, now if it's clear and it has a leaf in it, if it's leaves, then the bulk people will, I can get them to get that. But if it's a black bag, then it's hard to get them to pick it up.
And if they do leave it, then do they get fined?
They can, I continue to have to come, or, we need them to get an extra can, possibly.
How hard is that? 'Cause I know I'm placing extra.
I don't think it's hard, I haven't done it, but I'm assuming, you just call Public Works. It's a fee, I believe, associated with it, but, you just call them up and you get it to you.
So let me ask you a question. It's not 3 trucks, so in some neighborhoods there is regular trash, it's bulk pickup, and then it's yard trash. It's 3 trucks. So it's only 2 trucks.
The
Okay.
boat does the yard, building material and yard debris.
And that's on the same day?
Yes.
They do all of that. on the same
I think that day is Monday.
day.
And I am working on 44 minutes
Okay.
and Nesbit. We got that sent out,
Okay.
Nesbit.
That's what it was.
Yes.
Okay.
Anything else from me?
That was it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Lotz. We appreciate it. Okay, our financial report, I think. She just did. All right. Hey, you're next, financial report, I think it's Lana. Oh, okay, they can hear me, this?
Yeah.
Oh, you're in the middle of something, okay,
Yes, I'll take it to you.
okay, all right, I'll give you that, all right,
Okay, you see it?
yes, I see it,
Okay.
okay, thank you. Okay, our treasury report will be from Regina. We have a balance of $6,786.47. We've gotten a grant, for $6,575. And our expenses for the month was $816.35. Any questions? Okay, old business. We have our reunion coming up, September 15th, 16th, and 17th. We're asking everybody to get the word out. We emailed, a flyer to everybody. If you want to print those out, great. Pass it out, it's to save the date. And we have, you can text them. So you can send those to your family members, text it to your family members. They can go on the website, the www.reunion.
Good evening. I thought you should wear before the actors council.
No, right in the middle of that.
Oh, my
We have
goodness.
the meeting, reunion, website, you can go at RSVP, just hit RSVP, we have, Facebook, and
You don't stop.
also email it to everybody, but it's www.reunion, LivyHillReunion.com. Yeah, Livy Hill spelled out, lowercase. And you can RSVP on the website. Okay. Any questions for that event? But usually, Friday night will be Praise in the Park, Saturday will be the community picnic, and Sunday we're gonna have, I think it's called the Legends Ball. We are asking for nominations, just like we did at the gala, to have past and present leaders nominated. And we wanna keep, Man of the Year, Woman of the Year too. So, those nomination forms, I'll email them to you. I think I have pretty much everybody's email. I have them. And we'll bring copies the next time. But you can always print it out. But I'll email them to you this week. And we have, we're gonna collaborate with, Back to School, with Next Generation. They usually have theirs, in August. And, I think there's August 20th at the Village Meeting. So we usually, Darlene has last year bought supplies for them, from the kitty. And, so hopefully this year she'll do it for us again. But she always calls and say, hey, what we doing next? So, but yeah, and they're very appreciative that they got those extra supplies. And we collaborated even with Royal. And all collaborations, some people don't understand, is to help show unity in the community. And it looks good when you're working with each other for grant purposes. Because we have grant foundations that tell us if we don't work together, they're not giving us any money. Rightfully so, because they want to see that that money is being spread across the community for all projects.
When do the donations due
For,
for the drive, for the school supplies?
August 20th is when they're having their, event. I work it.
Who do you drop it off to or give it to?
Probably Darlene, but would you take it, Darlene?
Just bring about the senior building. Okay, senior building? Yeah. I'll take it. Okay.
And I think last year you bought pencils and notebooks and
Folders, pens, pencils, erasers. It was $250.
$50.
And we split it with you guys, church and then community.
So we haven't heard from Royal this year yet, so it may just be, Next Generation. Any questions, concerns? Beautification Committee, any updates?
Good afternoon, everyone. This week, I reached out to City of North Charleston on Ezekiel down by, Ms. Lambright, going toward Councilman Darby. I didn't realize that tree was growing down to the ground. So I got to work on it with it, and now that tree is lifted up. At the corner of Vaughn Wilson and Lester, where Mr. Pinckney used to live at, that big oak tree we were walking the other day and I realized the inside of that tree is hollow.
Mm.
So I put another work on it, and I think that tree is gonna come down. Either it did today or next week.
You gonna cut it down?
They said they will cut it down. Also, I put a work order in for Nesbitt Avenue on my side. The tree, that, the 18-wheeler come down, it grows so low. A lot of times we can do work orders. Truly, it's not sitting off South Road, but sometimes they take care of it, because right now we're in a political year, and we do things that we don't normally do. So if you see something in the area that needs to be done, put a work order in. It might get done. That drainage on the corner of Lester, on corner Luella and Montague, that's a big issue that might be dealt with this year. That's every time it rains, it floods in the area. There's an area what they call Small World. There's a pipe down there broken in half. It's state, North Shaw's not going in there. So we're trying to get state to go in there and open it up, stop the flooding in that area.
That's just the water coming from the water system?
Yeah, it's coming all the way through, it goes through that system.
So that's a big water bill for somebody, right?
No, it's stormwater.
Oh, it's stormwater.
Yeah, it's stormwater.
Oh,
That's why when it rains, it floods in the area.
oh.
So those are some of the issues we have. And we're supposed to get with Mr. Lee property next month. Some guys volunteered to say they do it next month, so we'll get it done from Miss Sister Hester.
That was fast.
Yeah. And probably the herbicide. That way we won't have to go in there no time soon. I think that's it. Oh, I did talk to the gentleman today. I caught him, the guy that cut the railroad tracks. Last year, the other guys, they're cutting, weed, everything, nice and pretty. This guy, he just cut the top, and I caught him down on this Spruce Avenue, where he spray everything and then weed. So I'm supposed to meet with him in the morning.
Okay.
And he's gonna jump on a Gator and Railroad Avenue.
Okay.
And try to take it in, because you can see where the zero turns go.
Yeah.
In the ditches, the vegetation with this out.
Yeah.
So hopefully by this time next week, it'll be cotton brown.
Okay.
So I'll meet them in the morning and get on that. That's my report. Oh, yes. I found out the city of North Charleston, we might can get 2 new welcome signs. We have to get our city councilman to talk about it, and we can get it. It's kind of a touchy subject, because I learned even in my lodge, when you move things, but my daddy put that there. But it may be falling down, but some people don't like to touch things, so those 2 signs can be replaced if we agree. And there's a picture.
Oh, the new sign?
Yeah, I see the picture. Okay.
I didn't see it.
And we talked, I was told that we can get Mr. Hartz, Councilman Hartz, to make a phone call. We can get 2 new signs on Liberty Hill.
While you're looking for that, I have a question. Is some new fire hydrants has been placed around the community and the gravel is still loose? Will they eventually fill that in?
That's CPW. What they probably would end up doing, like they did on Gannett, that asphalt they removed and put the pipe in,
Mm-hmm.
they probably gonna patch just that. And sweep the road off.
Oh, that looks good.
Cause that's what they did on Gannett. Although the whole road needed to be asphalt,
Mhm.
they did just that script where they cut open. But our city councilman can probably push to get things done. A lot of things you can get done with him. I said it's important.
But I don't have one look up.
Okay.
Tex, I'm gonna tell you something. Is that the area where Sammy has?
Well, talking about the sign,
What you talking about?
the sign is on Gator and one by Charity.
Okay, well, Don King got the one over there with Charity, that's his side, right?
Bob King,
I mean,
yes,
Bob King.
yes,
Okay, and Sammy got the one over here?
yes.
Okay, you gotta rely, he ain't gonna remember too much. So you may have to, I don't know how you wanna fix that, cause a lot of stuff that he forgot to do. And if you don't get it done now, cause they out of
Yeah.
office in November.
Yeah, I was told if we can get him to get on the phone and say, this is what you want. You don't have to do email, like most of them do email or not, you don't have to do that. Just that, he said he want this done, it'll be done.
Cause he's very forgetful
Yeah,
now.
he don't remember, he
No.
might tell you that, but then.
Yeah, but if I can get him on the phone with the director, and the director hears
Hope he
voice.
still won't forget.
But once the director hears voice,
You know how he is.
that's the signs right there. That was, I was told. Because a lot of communities right now are getting the signs. But we're not getting it, and we're roadway. So I think we should get the sign.
You guys probably have to also really go there and talk to him as well, because I'm gonna tell you, I gave him some stuff. You think he been done yet? Oh, I forgot. And that's understandable, because he's 92 years old. He's not gonna remember
I
too much. I'm telling you, he's not gonna remember too much.
We'll go far as we can to get it done.
So, I mean, you still have to pull teeth on other sides too, long way.
Mhm.
And it's all because of age-wise, he's up in age.
But if there's something other, just hit me up and I'll see if we can do it, or I can see if the state can get it done, or North Shops can get it done. Because my job is going through the city. People call us for all kinds of things, and
Oh, yeah.
courtesy. So, and courtesy is a deal too.
That drain over by Small World, is that if we contact, Pendarvis, will that help?
That's his area.
I'll try to send them.
That's another good luck.
I know.
Yeah, that's his
Look
area.
at, if he didn't know. He didn't know.
But I am reaching out to someone else
These people, I don't understand.
to see if I can get them to stand right there on that spot
Mhm.
and hold it to the state. Because this has been going on for almost 10 years.
Hmm.
This is not brand new.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is not brand new. When it's
You're
more,
gonna have to wait till the new mayor come on board.
but it's a state job.
Mhm.
Ridiculous.
Let me see, I'll see what I'll send, so, let's see if we can get that. That's, is it between the guy on the corner of,
The pipe, right, with Bobby Anderson's house?
yeah,
It's yeah, Bobby Anderson property.
Uh-huh.
It, right there, and it turns, it goes into Montague,
uh,
goes up toward that area, and that's where the block is at.
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do you think we need to vote on that song?
That way it's free. I mean, you can, because, like I said, sometimes people say, well, my mom, my dad did this, and they don't want to remove it.
Yeah,
Did y'all want to officially vote on it? Did we agree that we change the sign up, refresh the sign? It looks almost like that.
It's refreshing, I guess.
yeah.
We'll put
I
somebody
don't
on
think you
the
got to move on to mom and dad and goals.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Let's
Just,
just-
just like that sign right there on the senior building where I'm at, on with those three men's up there.
Yeah.
That needs to be redone because the weather now got the board messed up. And the people not fade out, I know who they is anyway. Guys, men,
Yeah,
but I know them as ancestors,
right.
but when a couple of, what is it, not Rhonda, Kathy and all them, I mentioned to Liz about, are y'all gonna have it, make sure you get repainted, take it down, or how you gonna do it. They're still trying to work on how they will fix that, because it look bad on the back of the building. I mean, you can't tell who it is. I finally getting my sign done, where it got Sammy Hart's, center. That would be brand new, because they've been out there taking the measurement. Because I've been told them that it need to be taken down. You can't think about back heritage, they're going. I mean, or you know, there's a spot that, something that they left, you still can recognize it, but you gotta fix it in order for it to work. That's the way I look at it.
So let's go ahead and vote on, so when we call Mr. Hart and get him to talk, and we can say when the Appropriate Council agree that the sign needs to be changed or refreshed.
I move that we, accept that we put the new signs out on Liberty Hill.
Second.
Question? Vote. Those in favor to move the, refresh the welcome sign for Liberty Hill, raise your hand. Those opposed, raise your hand. So 9-0, so not, the ayes have it.
You got a hand,
The question?
question?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Good question.
Yes, question.
I'm not changing my vote or anything. I was wondering, is it maintenance on the sign that caused it? Did it need to be sealed or something like that? Because, you know, if we replace the sign, it's gonna be taken care of in a better way, so it doesn't go to that condition again?
I don't know if it's a plastic, the hard plastic.
Or it's a plastic that we need to repaint. Sometimes there's this stuff that you can put over
A sealant.
metal or plastic, a kind of a sealant to preserve the colors. That might be something that we will need to make sure that when it gets.
There's a sign shop in charge.
Weatherproof, that's what you're.
Yeah, right, it's a special, because I had to get some for the things that I put in the yard, but it goes on clear and it go on plastic and metal, and it'll preserve
the wood.
Yes, ma'am.
Would have to be treated, and once you don't get treated, it's rotten.
Right.
So we can ask Mr. Henry Smokes if they have an agreement with the sign company to upkeep it and see. Because I know that's not the first sign, there's been several signs before that. That sign used to be green in the past, and then they changed it to this one. So they've changed it over the years. So we'll see if they have an agreement to upkeep it.
Okay.
Any other questions for beautification? Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Political action, can we talk a little bit about the mayor forum, the mayor and district forum? We had 3 dates at the end of August. It was August 24th, I think, August 20 something, and August 31st. But the 24th and the 31st is available to have the mayor forum or the district forum. And so we are in the process of working on that. Dr. McQueen has graciously taken on that task to make sure we come up with some sample questions and see what the forum looks like. And I think she volunteered a couple of people, Minister Craig and I think Renisha, to help with
And Darlene?
the mayor forum.
No, it wasn't me, y'all was getting her mixed up.
Because y'all twins.
So it's you.
It was me, I'm like into the meeting.
Okay.
So right now, just like Renisha said, is there a time? What y'all think is a good time that day? I think that's those are Thursdays, I think. So one I think is our meeting time.
Done. The 31st is a Thursday and the 24th is a Thursday.
7 p.m. So Renisha thinks 7 o'clock would be a good time.
7 o'clock to start it. Yeah, I guess a lot is until we send it out and know how many people are gonna participate, because right now the slate, I think, has 7 candidates.
One, 7.
It's
I
more
think-
than 7, but it's more than 7, the filing date is August 1st. It's more than 7, it's like 10, and there's a couple more coming out.
Okay, so, once we send out the invitations and then get an idea of how many people are gonna actually participate, that's gonna give us more information. But, we were just trying to brainstorm, and the committee will have to meet to really kind of tap things down. But just by way of an example, if we ask the candidates 4 questions, if we had 4 questions that everybody was gonna get, and we gave them 3 minutes to answer the questions, a minute to shut them up, because, to wind them down, and then a minute to transition over to the next question, that's 5 minutes, all right? And then if you had, just say, 7 candidates that were participating, that's 35 minutes for 1 question. And then if you did 4 questions, I was sitting here doing the math just to give you an idea so you can kind of gauge your start time and start thinking about how many questions you want to ask. If you follow that kind of format for just 4 questions, you're talking about 2 hours and 33 minutes just for those 4 questions, and that's making people stick to that timeline. That's giving them 3 minutes to answer the question. If you wanted to add, say, a component where the audience got to submit some questions, and then, the committee picked through the questions that you were gonna ask. If you did 3 questions from the audience, and you said, okay, you're gonna have like 2 minutes instead of 3 minutes to do that. If you did 2 questions for the 7 candidates, you're talking about another 42 minutes. If you're taking 42 minutes on the end of 2 minutes, 42 minutes on the end of 2 hours and 33 minutes, we're pushing close to 3 hours. You see what I mean? And that's just keeping everything running like clockwork. So that's why, you have to kind of think about the number of questions you're going to ask. And what makes it kind of tough is until, if half of these folks showed up, then this would all be real manageable, and you might be able to ask more questions from the audience. But the committee, I'm just giving this as a way example. I'm not saying that this is the way it's going to go, because the committee will have to decide. But, you got to figure out how much time you think people are going to pay attention and stay in that room and hear what they have to say. So the sheer number of candidates is a big handicap in all the obvious ways and in the way of having a forum. Because that's just 4 questions, giving them 3 minutes to answer. 4 prepared questions. So
Renisha was saying something that, she's been to several forums, and a lot of them do not show up. Not everybody shows up.
right,
And then after the filing date, then they're really gonna be weeded out.
right, but that filing date is August 1st or August 7th.
So if ours was August 24th or August 31st.
Right, so but you'll have to send out your invitations ahead of that time and get commitments from them ahead of that time, realizing that up until the filing date, somebody else could throw their hat in the ring, or someone could drop out. So it'll shift once that filing date occurs, but you've got to plan as everyone, so you gotta pick the date that you sent out these letters and get a confirmation back. So it's much earlier than August.
Do you need to, let all candidates show up?
No, not necessarily, you don't have to.
Well, yeah.
It would be nice, that
Could you-
benefits them.
But yeah, if you, for time reasons, if you get 5 of your strong candidates,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
that eliminate, that give you more time on questions.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just, but
Doing better.
I'm just giving you the example based on all of the candidates, because I think we have to assume that they're all come. I agree with you, Ms. Holmes, that, everyone does not generally show up, but we can't plan on that, because if we, what number we gonna pick? We can't say, well, we think they're gonna be 5, they're gonna be 4, we really don't know. So I think you have to plan
Yeah.
that they will all come, and then you will have to shift
Make your adjustments.
after August 7th, and you can narrow it down. One reason that there's a few reasons that I'm pointing that out to you is, I think it matters what time you start.
And be there.
You might have to start a little earlier, because, even if we had half of those candidates, then instead of 3 hours, you're talking about an hour and a half if everything goes like clockwork. And then, we have to, and then also in terms of the number of questions, that's why it's going to be important that everybody, not just the people on the committee, think about questions, real serious questions that you want to be presented, so that we will know. Because I don't know. I mean, 3 minutes to answer a question. We could bump it down to 2, but
They're gonna go over anyway.
well, but it just shows that you're gonna have to really control them. That's why I factored in, say, a 3-minute response, which is a lot of talking. And so and then 1 minute in case people kind of run over in their mid-sentence, but then that other 1 minute to say, in that time, we're gonna transition to another question, whether they're finished talking or not, so that you go to the next one. So that's 5 minutes for one question.
I think we can keep it tighter than that. Whoever the timekeeper is.
But, okay, but,
They know
so,
that they have to keep when we invite them, if they know they have to keep their answers to 2 minutes, then they're gonna have to be precise.
we'll
Ring the bell.
we'll do that part. I'm here to tell you, I don't care what has to be done. We'll do that part. But even with doing that part, I think to a lot less than 5 minutes to ask the question, for them to answer it, and to transition to another question is probably a little unrealistic, unless we're gonna say they have 2 minutes to respond to the question, and then, you'll save a minute for each question. So I'm just trying to give you an idea that you're still looking at probably an hour and a half to 2.5 hours if we have to plan on a full roster, and we will tweak it once we know. So it's gonna be a real fluid kind of situation.
What do y'all think?
No, good.
My thing is this, when Rhonda Jerome was been at Alpha Williams, they said she was running late, never did show up,
Right,
never did.
that's right.
And that's what's ridiculous, because matter of fact, if you notice, we got out there a little late than what I would expect, but that was ridiculous. And they hold, and I meant to tell, Reverend, what's his name, who had that off, Johnson, he should know better, for them to go on that time. That was just ridiculous.
So just
People
keep it
were
within 2
leaving.
hours and be done with that?
Exactly.
That's it.
Mr. Hamilton is short and sweet. He didn't prolong it, but you got these
That's right.
ones, you got to let them know, you're not the only one speaking.
Well, everybody's right, and I think that's why your point is really valid, that we, as the committee, we are going to have to keep the time and enforce the time.
Timekeeper. That's what
Right,
y'all need.
yes, ma'am, and I'm looking forward to that part. Because if it is essential, and a candidate that says that they are gonna come, if they don't show up that day, then we'll announce that and we'll keep on going. But, you're still looking at probably an hour and a half to 2.5 hours. That's just with this number of questions, just because the candidate field is so large.
And keep your plan and you make it say tweet it as you go.
And say again, please?
Keep the plan you have is a great plan. And as we go further, you have to do.
Right, we'll tighten it up because we can, but we just won't know. That's why that confirmation, the letters have to go out, and we have to get a confirmation early, so we can finalize the plan.
Okay, so we got 2 dates. We're going to finalize the dates tonight, and then we can send the letters out by next week.
Okay, so,
Because we talked about doing the mayor candidates, and then we talked about doing the district candidates. And district candidates, that's what we want.
But that's close. You got one more week in July.
yeah.
So we can go 31st, August 31st,
August 31st,
and then we'll just figure out the district candidates, the next month.
okay. So, does everyone like the idea of August 31st for this first one?
For the mayor candidates.
A Thursday. A Thursday. And in Churchland, it seems like every meeting happens on Thursday. Everything happens on Thursday. I don't know why.
As long as it don't conflict with City Hall. With their,
Oh,
she told
That isn't the thing.
okay,
county council.
Because I was just third Thursday.
okay, I'll check to see if I can find out if
Oh,
it's
that's the
gonna
fifth Thursday.
conflict
No,
with
they
any
should have
other
anything.
forum.
That's not, they don't have anything on the fifth Thursday.
Good.
So that works out for us. Okay. So we can put that down as being the date.
Let them know you want to start on time. If you're
Yes,
not
ma'am.
there on time, then you don't talk.
Oh, yeah,
So
and,
So we did get, permission from Pastor Holt to have it at Royal. It'll be $100, for the space, which is great, you know, because he has to pay somebody to open and close it. And I guess we'll have the gym. You know.
So you gotta check to make sure that date is open.
It's already open.
It's
already-
open.
Yeah, Antoinette's drawn up the contract, so it was 2 dates, August 24th, because I told her we were gonna do the mayor candidates and the district candidates. So she had August 24th available and August 31st available. So we can go August 31st, and then we'll see what's available in September for the district candidates.
so we get the letters out next week,
Yeah,
And-
this won't take nothing to get those letters out.
okay, and
We
then,
can bulk mail them, for Liberty Hill area, or North Charleston area, and then we can email, then we can put it on the community-wide websites, as well as, public service announcements.
okay. And then the committee will work on the setup and all of that.
And we just keep that simple. I mean, should all three of the moderators, and Dexter said he'll be a timekeeper.
You say you want to do it? Yeah. Initially.
Okay. Okay, well, we have
Okay.
2 to 3. Let's have the AC. Roy's usually pretty cold.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Oh,
Oh, yeah.
you remember it was hotter than the last time.
Girl, you been at that.
Okay, August 31st at what time, starting?
6:30.
6:30. 6 o'clock.
6:30.
6:30.
Give Rhonda enough to get out that traffic if she comes.
6:30,
Okay,
and be no more than 2 hours, 6:30, 8:30?
okay. 6:30 to 8:30.
Long enough.
Are we serving any water or anything?
Got a bump in the back.
What is
I say it about, and go home, stay there, oh well.
Do we need to have water there for?
Well, for the candidates, we can have bottled water, but, are we gonna have it in the gym or in the license?
More than likely. More than likely, that's where it will be.
And-
I'll double check.
Okay, because I know they're not gonna want any water in the gym, for the public, but on the stage with the candidates, yeah. Yeah, we gotta give them some water.
Yeah, we gotta keep their throat wet so they can talk.
What I'll do is I'll check with with them, because it's so hot right now, everybody.
It is.
So, and I don't, I need to talk with my chief, the budgeting officer. But we wouldn't mind donating some water if if the chief would approve it. We have good donate some water.
You got plenty nerve donating people. You don't fool like that.
6:30 to 8:30, I'll just put it some water donated by the Mitchell family. Anything else you think of that we need? I know Renisha's been to several of these already.
Just, I guess we'll do no cards if you open it up to,
I'm
no
sorry.
cards if you open it up to the audience, to the public.
Oh, right,
to-
right.
And have
Exactly.
turn into no cards to y'all.
They would have to get them in, when they come in and turn them in at a certain time so that the committee can go through and select which ones they're gonna get. That's right. Absolutely.
Did anybody have specific questions that they think we should ask? I know John created a couple of these. You recognize the food deserts and the threat to the health of North Charleston residents. That's one. What is your plan to change this? Do you recognize gentrification in the minority communities? Be specific, I would say. This is slow
If you can read my handwriting, you're doing
slow
well.
delivery or lack of neighborhood infrastructure. Okay. It contributes to gentrification, and how are you gonna resolve this?
That one about gentrification deals with the fact that a lot of times the lack of services in the community infrastructure, like sidewalks, clean up services, those kinds of things help to keep the community, it's a negative effect on the impact of the way the community looks and the way that it's maintained. And these kinds of communities tend to be the ones that turn over quicker with gentrification because, they're not up to par. And, in the city services, we need those city services. Why can't we have sidewalks? Why can't we have street lights? All of those things improve the look of the community, the value of the community. The way the people keep the upkeep of the community, aside from the regular things that deal with gentrification. And those kinds of services are within control of the mayor's office, getting those things in the neighborhood. Gentrification is a mixed bag. It's not just people, buying the property and renting it out to people and then kicking them out. It's a lot of other factors that go into gentrification. I just think they need to
And then,
come correct.
then you also have down here about internet access, because I think there is a national plan to bring the internet to the rural areas. I think you said sometimes the citizens can't afford it. And how can they be assistance in our communities?
There's an idea about community resource centers, where, whenever you need to apply for city services and things like that, a lot of times you gotta go to City Hall, or they tell you to go on the internet and apply and things like that. And a lot of times, what they do in some communities is they have city resource centers where the city workers are in the community, and you go to that community resource center and you apply for those programs that you need. And it's easier for people to get there and to do it and to fill those applications out correctly, as opposed to, people having to go to, the city hall office or wherever it is. So why can't we have community resource centers within the neighborhoods to make it easier for people to apply for the services that are out there?
So like a satellite center that branches from.
Exactly. And then that way the people that work in those offices get to know the residents too. And sometimes them knowing your face is the thing that helps your application get through. Why can't they have some of those satellites out in our communities?
That's a good idea.
So,
So it's like if we have a satellite police precinct, we can have a resource center right there.
that's right.
In there. I
That's
think
right.
somebody had just suggested that last year, so that would be great. And then another question, I would like to see asked is about, devising a program to abate the taxes for the elderly, especially as the tax base rises. Because we are considered a low economic, census tract area. And then how you stop, our residents who are already in this predicament of not having enough money to pay their taxes, not go to the tax sale. Once they go to the tax sale, that's it. A lot of times, because they have to pay double taxes, and then they have to pay 12% over what they owe. Right.
I will say this, so I attended a meeting maybe 2-3 months ago at City Hall. And it was that question that you, yeah, and I was the only one in the room, and I was surprised that nobody saw it this way. And there were more blacks in the room than whites. So what they say is that a lot of them have like investment properties, extra properties or whatever. So they're thinking about generational wealth. So they don't want to see the cap on the taxes.
Wow.
Yeah, they do not want to. There's some people from 10 Mile Hill, the Height, like I was really surprised, the Wheeling area, they don't want to see it because it's going to prohibit them from, prohibit the property value they feel. So,
Well, maybe we just open up to the ones who need the help.
Yeah.
At least have that program in place.
Yeah,
And
see,
like the elderly or the disabled that need the help, we'll be there.
the thing that, this is a walking, breathing, problem, and the reason being, whenever they break ground on this new hospital, as soon as they break ground, it's going to have a ripple effect for taxes all over. Liberty Hill is right down, and the hospital is $1 billion. And they're gonna pump money, I know, and that's why we need to be very, 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 deliberate about what we're doing for Liberty Hill. Because we have to control that narrative. And if we don't look at some kind of assistance for those that need it or desire to have it, the property value is gonna go up. It's up. Because the house on Nesbitt, right over, on this side of Nesbitt, that two-story house, they sold that house, I think was for $418,000. And so the house right next to it, they just built that house 2-3 years ago. So that's gonna have an impact on their taxes. And Aunt Hermina is 97 years old. She can't afford those taxes. So we need to be looking at that now so that we can, stave off something for people like her. Everybody may not want it, but God bless. You go from paying, $800 on your taxes, and then you look at your bill the next year, and it's thousands of dollars, and many people can't afford it.
And that's another reason to have community resource centers, because I know that there was a program one time, and I think, I don't know if it was AARP, I cannot remember who sponsored it, but it was geared towards seniors, and they would assign a person who was bonded to work with that senior and to find all the programs that they qualified for, review their budget, make sure that that out of what they had, to see if they could afford the things that they have, and also find resources, because there's lots of stuff out there, but we just don't know about it. And so then they would find the programs to help supplement their incomes, and then set up the payment plans. And if they had to pay the bills for them, they would do that, but they all were licensed and bonded people, so that way you could make sure that they were. And I'm like, what the heck? A lot of people never even found out about the program.
But they don't say it, they don't tell you about it.
Right, so
Certain people.
it might take something like that, and because you want the property values to go up, but it might take something like that in order for the seniors who are in those homes to be able to keep up with it. So bringing those resource people here, because I hate it every time I hear when they talk about programs and something, they say, we can go to our webpage or go look on the internet. Everybody can't do it. And if they do it, everybody doesn't understand the process. So, and so if you have one of those satellite centers, I don't see how that's complicated for a mayor to do those satellite centers, and lots of communities.
They have it in their budget to do certain things.
Right. To take care of things like that, because there's lots of stuff out there we just don't find out about.
Or we don't ask for it, right?
Or we don't ask for it.
Yeah, because we ask. Any other questions?
I have a speaker coming next month for my seniors. And when I called her to set up the appointment, she said, Darlene, there's so much the government got out there, but they don't know. That's why she's coming to give them numbers and names of these different places, because they're on a steady income, you barely can pay their property tax, some can, some cannot. So they are trying to help them to get out of that pain, that because with the exemption of their age, they still have to pay something. But when you're on a steady income like they are, back then when they retired, they ain't been making no money back there, so they got to handle what they got. And that money have to stretch for a whole month when you're on a steady income. And one lady in my center, she was saying that she don't know how she's making it. And with the help of her family, they can't. They can't, because some family members not close with each other.
Mm-hmm.
But I leave that alone. But anyway, then she's coming next month, and whatever information and numbers I get, and brochure, I will bring it here so y'all can get numbers and names of people that is who you can contact with. Because we're here to help each other, not to hurt each other.
Yes. Amen. Thank you for that. Any other questions that you think we can ask at the forum? You can always text it to me and I can give it to Donna. Most of y'all have my number. And I'll give it to Renisha. If you have Renisha's number, give it to her.
I just need everybody's number that's gonna help with it,
Okay.
so we can get together and make some
The
decisions.
young man that run, he's part of the school, but you might know what I'm talking about. The one that runs the candidate for the mayor, that,
Which one? The youngest
Franklin College,
that was the one that spoke
the black guy, young
Yeah.
guy?
Matter of fact, he was talking about the school instead of what he can do for the community. That's a no-no right there. And
They
everything
don't know who I am.
he threw in with Charleston County School. Oh, well, we talking about how you can run the city of North Charleston. So some of them, a lot of them will be backed out. They just, like Mr. Hamilton said, 5 things that have been there when he was there. You got to know what the city requirements are, because he was retired, he's a retired county councilman. You got to know your place, you got to know your people, even down to your finance, and you got to be out there to know who you are. And spend time out there to let people know what you're doing, and let them see what you're doing. This young man talking about Charleston County School, that's out. I mean, I can't vote because I'm not in this district, but that's out. Anybody know about no Charleston County School?
So he's funny. But that's why we have these forums, so the community get to know the candidates. So, like I said, if y'all have any more questions to submit, then, Donna, Benicia, Instagram.
Asked respectfully not to submit the questions to me because I work alongside, so I don't want there to be like
A conflict.
yeah, and I don't want nobody to think I'm giving out questions, so just, you can send it.
Well, we talked about whether we should give the questions out in advance to the candidates, which I think, so they won't be.
It's better to do it that way, so they can know, so they can look at it and see exactly.
So too. So, okay, so we'll comprise the questions, the main questions, and then. Okay, anything else with that? We'll get those finalized within the next week and let everybody know. Okay?
Yeah, anybody want to hear him?
Okay, any new business? Any new business? Yes. This is Miss, you identify yourself. And
Yes, ma'am.
let them know.
Good afternoon. My name is Latricia Gambrell. First, I want to thank Mrs. Harper for inviting me here. I have started a petition, and I'm just going to read it out to you, then I'll give you all my spiel.
Would you go up front for our online viewers so they can see up there, please?
So I have started a petition, and then I'll give you my spiel on my final thoughts. As a concerned resident of Liberty Hill, South Carolina, I am writing this petition to express my deep concerns regarding the proposed development of those duplexes and/or apartments on the corner of Mint Avenue and Mint Street. This area is currently designated as a R1 zone, which primarily consists of single-family homes. This petition is personal to me because I have witnessed firsthand how such developments can negatively impact communities. The potential construction of duplexes or apartments in our quiet neighborhood would not only lower the value of our homes, but also introduce potential safety concerns and increase crime rates. Liberty Hill has always been known for its peaceful atmosphere and its close-knit community. The addition of multi-unit dwellings would disrupt this harmony of altering the characteristics and the ambiance that we hold dear. It is essential to preserve the integrity and the charm that attracts us to this neighborhood in the first place. While it is important to support growth and progress, it should not come at the expense of established residential areas like ours. We believe that there are alternative locations within North Charleston, where such developments can be accommodated without compromising our existing neighborhoods. To support our cause, we present you with these relevant facts. Decreased property values. Studies have shown that the complexity of multi-unit housing complexes can lead us to decline in property values for the surrounding single-family homes. This source comes from American Planning Association. Increased crime rates. Research indicates that a correlation between high-density housing developments and increases crime rates. This source comes from the National Institution of Justice. Traffic congestion. Adding more units without proper infrastructure planning could cause more traffic congestion issues voiced by residents. This is from the City Planning Development. We understand that the responsible urban planning involves balancing various interests. However, it should prioritize maintaining a vibrant resident communities over profit-driven developments. By signing this petition, we urge local authorities, city planners, and developers to reconsider the proposed development of duplexes and apartments in Liberty Hill R1 zone. Let us work together to find an alternative solution that represents the character and the well-being of our neighborhood. Together, we can ensure Liberty Hill remains safe, peaceful, and a vibrant community for current and future generations. Thank you for your support in preserving the integrity of Liberty Hill. So my name is Latricia Gambrell. That's my husband, Kerry Gambrell. On the corner of our house on Mint, if you know anything about off of Ezekiel going towards St. Pete, there's Mint Avenue and there's Mint Street. Right now, the Charity Foundation has decided to clear that corner lot and add duplexes and apartments, which again will lower everyone's property value, will increase the activities that may come into our neighborhood. And who profits from that? Is any of that money going back into our neighborhoods? Are we gonna help senior citizens pay their taxes with that money? Because that's residual income. Are we gonna take some of that money and fix up some of those ran down homes for those who can't afford it?
I agree with you.
It's not fair. Although I'm not originally from Liberty Hill, anyone who knows my husband, he is. Since living on Liberty Hill, I have been proud to stay here, to be a part of the 150-year history that thrives among our people. And I want to keep it that way. We have been robbed of our land long enough. Kerry works hard to get on his feet, to get his credit on top, to maintain his job, to go to work every day and support our family so that we can leave a legacy for our children and our children's children. And I'm asking for signatures on this petition that we can stop this development of this duplex or this complex, because it's not going to help anybody living in the community. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
I was,
Me too.
I'm gonna leave it here with Ms. Parker.
Do you have any idea how large this development is gonna be?
So what?
Well, if you know, our house is 1,100 square feet. That property might be a little bit, 100 or so bigger. So you're looking at least 2 duplexes, side-by-side homes, or if it's an apartment, that's 4 units.
We,
He had mentioned that before that, that's what they was gonna do in those areas.
But that wasn't the original plan. That's how Kerry and I got to live there. The plan was them to build single family homes, giving people opportunity to become homeowners, such as Kerry qualified.
That's what they did on 10-9.
What's her name?
That's what they did.
She should have been here today.
Michelle?
Yeah, she should have been here answering. So bad for you.
we,
I really don't have no comments for them. We have been dealing with, I'm still a member of Charity wholeheartedly. That's my church family, I love them. But as far as Charity Foundation has nothing to do with Cherry Missionary Baptist Church. So this is something separate. And, as far as I'm concerned, the dealings that we have had have not been, listed. They have been flowers in the garden.
So, and you spoke with the last workers already?
Well, yes. Yeah, actually, they started, so we thought the property was ours and we got a note to clear the trees because there are dead trees on the property. So the city of North Charleston came out and evaluated and said, if you don't take these trees down, hey, you're gonna be fined. Later on, after everything was washed out, come to find out the lot next to our house is actually the foundation, because we agreed to buy our home and where it's on. So when she came out about 2 weeks ago, Miss Tyra, she informed me that Charity said they wanted the trees cut down because they want to build duplexes or apartments to get more bang for their buck. That's the first time I heard it.
Tara, she's part of the foundation?
She's part of the city of North Charleston. That was the first time I heard it.
Okay.
The next time I heard it, it was just in the air. People were talking, and saying that they were going to develop an apartment for a duplex.
Any other questions or discussions?
Yes.
So
Okay.
we've dealt with this about, multifamily dwellings in our R1 zone, for the last year. The mayor is on board with, R1 staying R1 and don't allow R2 in the R1 zone. There are areas on Liberty Hill that they can build R2, and that's where he said they can build R2. Or if it's B1 and B2, they can build, apartments or duplexes on those.
I also talked to a councilman, Mr. King, I forgot, Robert King. He also cleared, Bob King. He's the one who also told me that was Charity's plan.
Okay. So we did take it a step further because I like to inform decisions. I did call Shonda today and she said they don't have any plans for duplexes on Mint. This came out of her mouth. So what I'm doing is just relaying that. But it will never stop with a petition that you have going forward, because even in the future, I know Liberty Hill does not want all these multifamily dwellings on, in the R1 zones. So I welcome whoever wants to sign a petition to do so, in support of no duplexes and no multifamily dwelling in the R1 zone.
I've already got over 30 signatures thus far. We got 27 yesterday. And then I have 7, I think, online, because you can also start a petition online.
So if
Charity is not doing
this is what I was told by the executive director for Charity Foundation. She told me that today. They're not planning to build on Mint any multifamily dwellings. Now they are planning to build in Q Street. Well, the Q Street where
Family Dollar,
Family Dollar, right where the Small World, that area is already R2. And that's where they are.
All this property around me, and none of the homes are affordable. I used to be the property manager for what is now Berry Place over 3 years. We have tax credit, we have home ownership, we have senior living, and they take Section 8. Even that is not affordable when you're making $13 an hour. You cannot pay $1,200 in rent plus utilities and a car note and keep insurance and be legal. paying $1,200-$1,300 for the rent. It takes a team effort for me and my husband to keep up.
And that's our fight, to keep affordable housing affordable for our community. There's some property that's about to go up for sale, and it's going to be sold probably to a major developer. And they will definitely jack the prices up to $600,000 per house. But we are planning to put together an architectural review board. We already have the covenant and everything ready to there. That the individuals, and I asked you all to be on that board, the residents will have control of who comes in here and who builds and what price. So I think that's how we're gonna control the gentrification here. The covenant over the video, grandfather and the older ones. The new ones who building, the builders and developers can have to come to the residents architecture. And the mayor's on board for that. We're gonna meet with him in the next week or two, and he said he's going to sign off on it. So we are in agreement that Liberty Hill needs to stay there.
Also, last time we did something on, the queue. They put a flyer up, let you know that there's a meeting. If you see that flyer, let us know.
I said,
And if you can go to that meeting, you will, like you did last time. Speak to them, too.
They cannot change the zoning without the residents. So, yeah, but they have to put that sign on that property. Understand? Any other questions?
So you've got a way to deal with this issue already?
Yes.
Yeah, we've dealt with this a couple of times already.
Okay.
There was a blockage right down the street, right on that. It was the first.
On the opposite side of it.
Yeah, on the opposite side, a young lady wanted to put, but one of our board members wanted to put a unit there for, she takes care of veterans, and city council blocked her. So then, in turn, the residents didn't want it on the other side either, so we blocked. We went to the mayor, and the mayor agreed, yeah, on the queue, that it shouldn't be R2 and R1 zone, because that's what city council had already agreed upon anyway. So that was blocked. So to come back and back on Mint Street, that's surprising. So the key is stay 16 sharp, make sure you see those zoning change signs, let us know. Because they will slip things in. Mr. Craig had to go to City Hall. They were slipping in I don't know, a studio, right between,
Art studio.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right by Clary's house, and a little slot. Nowhere to walk around the building.
Yeah.
Right. And if he didn't go there to stop it, they would build it, because they were clearing the property, they were making no trespass and all that. So
well,
we
I
have to
work
stay-
from home, so I'm always in my window.
So as residents, I mean, we just have to make sure we're.
And a lot of things have just, things have been said that weren't gonna be done, they find out this.
Yeah, they still can't go past some of that, so, and now, if we get that architectural review board in place, they can't go past the residents.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other new business? Announcements? So, Sister McFadden, from the Liberty Hill Historical and Genealogical Society, wrote about the Juneteenth program. Many thanks to all who have attended the Historical and Genealogical Society Solar Family Launch and Juneteenth event. Coming forth, the Historical and Genealogical Society will sponsor teaching sessions on researching family tree and history. More information will be provided soon, so stay tuned. Thank you. We're also selling solar family t-shirts. Please contact Gloria Massey Homes for details. We're also inviting individuals to become members of the Liberty Hill Historical and Genealogical Society. Please see Sister McFadden for membership. Okay, so the Solar Family, the Juneteenth program was awesome, you know. So we want to give them a hand. That's the first time here on Liberty Hill. regular decorators here, Lily and, her daughter Lisa, they did an awesome job decorating that.
Yes.
room. And I don't know how she did those, trees, but those trees were awesome. They were the big family trees that she made, Lisa made. And, they're awesome.
And she was the
And
MC.
MC, no, this, Jameson was the MC.
Oh, she was on.
She was a speaker.
Yeah, you would speak for the homeless.
No, they, I guess they didn't have, I was supposed to do the greeting.
She did everything. She pulled it.
So you were ready in season and out of season, so she was ready to
Yeah,
do whatever she
she
needed.
folds it when you like
And she's the young blood that's gonna keep the community going.
Yeah. she
So,
is.
you know, I'm glad she's getting involved now, because, you know, in a couple of years, Dex and I talk about it all the time, you know, we getting old now. We out here.
That's the next generation. You know, carrying towards your legacy, igniting the next generation. That's what it is. That's what it is. So, so yeah, so the Genealogical Society, like I said, is looking for members, to help and also they will help train to, work on your family tree. We have some awesome, experienced tree searchers, family tree searchers. Lily's been doing it for how many years, Lily?
It was 2005.
2005, oh, okay. And she has all her family, and trust me, she has a big archive of pictures and things and books and everything. So they will be the go-to family to get information. Okay. All right, we have a farmer's market coming up, at the corner of Montague and Nesbitt Avenue this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Naomi Elliott is in charge of that for the community. And, anybody need to submit vendors or want to be a vendor, please see her, get her number, I can give it to you guys for the meeting. And, there is a scholarship, I just got from Lampsey. If there are any high school graduates who are in need of funding, please complete, there's a Lansing application on the Coastal Community Foundation's website. It's the Coastal Community Foundation website, it's actually applications, they're a scholarship for high school students. So you can always go and pull that up and fill it out, scholarship for high school. And if you need that link, let me know, I can send you that. Okay. So if you know any high school students, let them know. You know, want money for books and, supplies and things like that. We gave out, the Historical Society gave out 3 scholarships. We had gotten funds from, raised money from the gala, and they had, given out 3 scholarships at the Juneteenth. So, and I think Next Generations, has scholarships that they've given out this year too. Okay. All right, any other questions, concerns?
What time that, thing, farmer's market starts Saturday?
9 to 2.
9 to 2?
Mhm. Yeah, and they're gonna have, not only just goods to sell, they're gonna have food also. I heard there's a really nice vendor that's coming out there and serves home cooked food.
All right, 9 to 2 Saturday.
All right. Anything else? Hearts and minds clear? All right, are you, Ms. Campbell, are you leaving the petition?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Are you leaving that, or you?
I'm gonna
Are
leave you a
leaving
copy. I have plenty of copies.
Okay, so leave that. If y'all in agreement with it, then we can circulate it.
Okay.
Is that okay? Yeah. Is improvement council in agreement to circulate this? Can I get a vote on that?
I make a motion that we circulate that and get applications.
For the petitions.
For the petition of Mint Street.
So no more
against all R2.
R2.
I second that.
Question? Vote, all in favor of, helping to circulate the petition for no more R2s in the R1 zone? Please raise your hand. Yeah, no more R2s in R1. All opposed? No opposed? So the ayes have it, so we will help circulate this. This has been our fight from day one, because we do want to keep Liberty Hill a quaint community. We don't want it to be overrun by multifamily units, and keep the family integrity of Liberty Hill.
Yeah,
Amen?
that's what we like.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
This is my first time doing a petition. Do I have to have a certain amount of names on it?
No, I say if you're gonna present it to City Hall, I would at least get at least 200. If you
Okay.
can.
That's it. I'll be walking the grounds.
Yeah, at least get 200.
Walking the neighborhood.
Because when we showed up, I think we showed up about 50 of us, and it was a good impact.
You need names and addresses.
I think she has on here, name, phone number, email. That's on it. Okay. All right. Hearts, minds clear? Any? Nope. Good. Meeting's adjourned. Let's close out with prayer.
We stand for prayer, please. Father God, we thank you for this hour. We thank you for all you have done to us. Father God, we ask that the information that is given to us, that you bless it, and those in the community that go through bereavement and sickness, we ask that you continue to keep your hands on them. These blessings we ask until we see each other again. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Y'all have a great week, and we'll be getting back with you about the mayor's forum. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to text me.
What's going on, man?
What's going on, man?
Listen, man, okay. When you got out, walk out.
If you want to sign the petition.